The screen capture is a bit off, but I really don't feel like correcting it. Okay, she didn't. I'll go all the way back to the beginning here. Hello. Oh, okay. Becoming used to Twitter. Okay, this woman represents all of us who thinks Fauci belongs in jail. God bless her. Okay, so, well, the problem here is that she's invoking God, which is both illogical and unconstitutional, because God isn't even mentioned in the Constitution. And it's illogical because, well, we would all be invincible and immortal if God was a responsible creator. But you guys like to say that it's all our fault, which essentially removes God from the equation, from the existential equation, I guess you could call it. So this woman represents all of us who think no. So this is wrong because, oh yeah, okay, all of us, never mind. Okay, so, yeah, but the thing is, though, Marjorie is nobody to say anything about anyone. Now, and I'll go into this, something I never really, well, I have mentioned it in various video commentaries, but when Marjorie insulted that woman about her fake eyelashes, I would have said to her, well, given that your face resembles a fucking caveman, and that your body looks like a football player or some well, not even bodybuilding, it's all chubby and shit. I don't think she's anyone to say anything about anyone else's experience or any part of their body. Now, she could also carry on about how she exercises and does this and that, but that doesn't do anything for her mental health or her personality. So with all that said, I support blah blah blah. She has more balls than most of the men on the committee. To which I ask, is politics about having balls? 2, can you prove this vaccine is bad? 3, so name dropping, insulting, and name calling, and yeah, name dropping and name calling is to have balls, is having balls. I would think that politics is about managing the country and making sure everybody is doing all right. Just in a nutshell, a very simplified nutshell. To which you say, you give me this shit. She didn't curse. Well, I never said she did, but actually she did curse. I heard her say fuck a few times recently. Up until then, I didn't know she actually used words as she claims to be this woman of God, which doesn't hold her back from insulting and name-calling. Not that I'm bothered by that, I'm just pointing that out. So any attempt for you to call me a snowflake, well, that's just illogical. That's just, doesn't make, anyway. Some coffee here. Okay. She didn't threaten to push up on him like Maxine Waters did on conservatives, censoring doctors, firing them, and nurses who were on the front lines treating people from the bioweapon. She didn't threaten to push up on him. Who? Dr. Fauci? She didn't threaten to push up on him. I don't even know what you're talking about there. Like Maxine Waters did on conservatives, censoring what? She didn't threaten to push up on him like Maxine Waters did on what are you talking about? I don't know who Maxine Waters is. Someone else I'd have to look up, but you're not even explaining this. You're going on about censoring doctors, firing them, and nurses who were on the front lines treating people from the bioweapon. Okay, so how do you know it's a bioweapon? Just because Marjorie said so? What is she? How is she proving it? Explain that. If you're only base on that, or if you're only backing on that is that Marjorie says so, and what is that? How is that valid? Why should I take that seriously? This woman also believes in Jewish space lasers, and believes that, well, she has nothing, Diana. Neither do you. I had cancer and heart failure before I turned 35. I'm 56 now and had COVID 3 times, so Yeah, because I'm supposed to take your word for everything. Just because you said so. Anecdotes. How do I know you're 56? How do I know you had cancer? How do I know you had heart failure? And how do I know that you have had COVID 3 times? If I had taken a shot and boosters, I would have had... Okay, so suppose this shot is... well, I guess blood clots were a reality, but they've fixed that. They've solved that problem. I'll give you that. But I don't see you guys coming forward with any solution to, or any alternative to the vaccine or boosters or whatever. I don't see you guys coming up with a cure for COVID either. You guys, what? Donald Trump suggested bleach and that, I can't even remember what the hell it was. And you guys also went on about the, what was it, the horse tranquil... No. Was it the horse? I can't remember what the hell it was now. The ivermectin shit. Did you take that? Apparently that's not right either, but you guys don't listen to that either, but a lot of the Christians also went on about having the blood of Christ. But the reality is, I don't know if you're Christian or not, but if you are, how would we be vulnerable to any kind of disease, any kind of illness, psychological or physical? So, question how the George Floyd protests spread the virus either. I agree that all the protests were bullshit, because I don't believe in protesting, because that doesn't solve any problems. But in the media question, well, the reality is that yeah, I can't even remember now. This is all fucking years ago now. I do agree with you on that, but only because protests are ineffective. But the reality is, I mean, you probably think that George Floyd is guilty. And well, yeah, I can't really touch this either, because I have to agree with you on this. But you're pointing it out for the wrong reason, I'll say that much. That's all anyone does is protest or vote. And, well, the reality is, though, you guys are against defunding the police, though. To which I could go deeper in on, but I'm not going to... That's another video. You'll just argue against that also, while you support a woman who wants to defund the FBI and whoever else, whatever other government agency. So... But, you go on this, you say this, but none of you can prove that COVID is a bioweapon along with the vaccine. Both the virus and the vaccine are both bioweapons. That's what you're saying, but you can't back that up. The best you have is, oh, well, Marjorie said so. Those were super spreader events. Well, the reality is that you guys were anti-mask anyway, so what are you even complaining about? These protests. You support a woman who was she's anti-lockdown. She was anti-mask. She's anti-everything. She's all Marjorie Taylor, which I prefer to call her, because Green is her married name, which is no longer, is in favor of Americans having rights, which they don't have. If even if COVID is a bioweapon, it's still, it's still a fucking, it's the tyrant, not the government. The lockdown and the masks are the government's way of dealing with the virus. And what are you guys doing about it? Okay, suppose Dr. Fauci is guilty of it being or a new one, whatever. What's your solution to that? The same solution you have to illegal immigrants, inflation, price gouging, whatever else. Really? You guys don't have anything. And also, why now? Why is Dr. Fauci being heard now? What's that going to do? What are you guys doing? You're sitting here whining about a election being stolen for, what, 3 years now? And if Donald Trump doesn't get elected, what are you going to do then? You know? What the fuck? You have nothing, Diana. None of you guys do. Oh, it's only 10 minutes. Okay. That's not bad.